We are going to speed through this episode, not because like nothing happened or anything, because Al is sick, and that's just the nice thing to do, of course. So, hello, welcome to this week's episode. Jared now watch Inuyasha is episode 146. I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Al and Lady
Hello.
We are discussing season 6, episode number 5, episode 143, entitled 3,000 Leagues in Search of Fada.
My
Fada.
daddy.
Yes, we are still wandering around dealing with Hakudoshi cutting heads off and everything, and Inuyasha and the gang come upon a village, and they're like, there's a headless demon running around. Come, we gotta get rid of it. And they're like, okay, we'll go get rid of it. And they run to the forest where they're like, there's a good part where Moroku's like, Inuyasha, can you use your smelling to find the demon? He just looks down like, no, I think we got a good idea where it is. There's giant footprints around.
That's good without that, man.
They eventually run into it. There's a small girl being chased by it, and she's like, "No, don't kill it." And they're like, "Why?" Like, it could be my dad. And then it turns out it's not my dad. So Inuyasha just cuts it in half, and then just leaves it just lying on the ground.
Twitching.
Yeah. The young girl transforms into an otter, whose name is Kanta, and is like, "Yo, my dad and I were fishing in the river, and this dude came by on a horse and was like, yo, I'm gonna cut this guy's head off." And he's like, "No, don't do that." And he avoided an attack, but then his head got cut off, and it floated down the river, and Kanta was able to recover the head. But when he went back to where they were, the body was gone.
Oh no.
Oh no, what do we do? So that's something bad. So they Chippo is like, we'll help you. Inuyasha's strong and everything, but he's real stupid. Don't worry about that. So they agree to help try and find this dude's little dad body thing. You know.
Little dad body thing.
Little dad body thing, of course.
Uh-huh.
We get some other goobers running around finding Hakudoshi, which is like, I believe they've been in the show before at some point. They're very minor characters. The wiki here doesn't even mention them.
Incredible.
Which is saying something. But yeah, they're just like running around like, we're gonna get them, and then Entei's just like, nah, you're not even getting close here. Blunk, blunk, and just yeets them away. While Hakudoshi's like looking into the heads of these demons, is like, I can't find anything. I just find a world shrouded in mist. Stinks. Then we stumble upon Rin and Jockin at a campfire, and Rin's like, Jockin, where's Sesshomaru? And Jockin's like, dude, I don't know. He doesn't tell me anything. What do you mean? What do you expect me to know? And then they eat some mushrooms. Sesshomaru is
but Jockin burns himself.
He does burn himself. Sesshomaru is overlooking a village, and there's some farming fields and everything. He's like, the Tenseiga is funky today.
Spider sense is tingling.
Yes. Another headless demon attacks another village, and then they throw a bunch of arrows and spears and miss like 90% of them.
It's embarrassing.
It's really wild, and then it runs away, and then it falls over at Sesshomaru, and Inuyasha and the gang are like watching as this village is trying to like go after them like it's Frankenstein's monster. And they're like, we should probably get there before they do. And Inuyasha's like, okay, well the scent's this way, but I don't like this other scent. So they find the body, and then there's Sesshomaru there, and they're like, why are you here? And he's like, I'm just here. Kanta tries to put the head on. They're like, we can't put the head on. Oh no. Everyone's very sad, but Kagome's like, hey, you got that like sword that can like, save lives, right? Like, why don't you do it for this demon? And Sesshomaru's like, why would I do that? Like, why? And then Moroku's like, well, he doesn't know how to use a sword, obviously, which I guess
a good-hearted person.
Yeah, I guess because like they have not seen him use the sword before, so they don't know he can use it. Because he used to save Rin, I think, right?
Yeah.
So we know he's definitely used it in that respect, at least once. But they don't know that. So they say that, and they're like, you're a scrub. And Sesshomaru's like, okay, I'm just going to leave again. And then the Senseiga's like, hey, what if you just stay here and do the thing? He's like, so he pulls the sword out, it's glowing, and he sees the little dudes who are poking the body and just like poke, 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 poke. And he slices them away, and then the dude's like, I'm alive! And then, it's very funny, like, Baroku's like, he slashed something. I didn't see it, but he slashed something. The demon wakes up, and it's like, oh, I'm alive again. By the way, here's what I was doing when I was dead. My head was floating through this place that was like enshrouded with white mist and everything, and a bunch of other demon heads were there, and they all looked very perturbed and everything. But then, we were floating around, and eventually we found like there's this big old skeleton down there, like it had a bunch of armor on and everything. It was real weird. Anyways, I'm alive again, yay!
Yay.
And then they go to thank Sesshomaru, and he's already leaving. He's like, why would the Tenseiga let me do this? What does this mean? So yeah, Kanta and his dad are reunited, and they get to leave, and they're all happy and everything. Shippo's very happy because it reminds him of his dad and all that. And the gang moves
to point it out.
Yes, and the gang moves on. They're like, what could this white mist mean? And then Yasha's like, I think I've been there before. And Kagome's like, ah, yes, I believe you have been there before. That's where your papa is. Was she there when that happened?
I think so.
Okay, I thought so as well, but I couldn't remember. But yes, that's the big reveal, is that it's the grave of Inuyasha's dad. We were there like a bajillion episodes ago. And that's how the episode
probably
ends.
would have been in like the teens or the 20s or something like that, episode-wise.
Yeah, probably. Let's see if this says anything about it. This is just about his dad, his papa.
Hey, papa.
Anime. It says episode 5 is the first appears in a flashback, and 6 and 7, or he appears as a corpse.
Wow. Not even the teens to the 20s. Okay.
Yeah, so like episode 6 is literally where they go and get the Tenseiga. So yes, a long time ago.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, that's it for this episode. We got some notes here. This episode marks the second and third time a character has been mistaken for a raccoon dog. Inuyasha thought Kanto was a raccoon dog, and Kanta thought Shippo was a raccoon dog.
Who was the first time?
Probably Shippo being referred to as a raccoon dog by Inuyasha, I guess, or someone saying that to him.
Yeah,
presumably.
maybe.
This is the only episode to depict Shippo's father when he was alive. At one point, Moroku states that Sesshomaru would be unable to use the Tenseiga, which we talked about, as he does not possess a carrying card, possibly an attempt to goad Sesshomaru into using it to revive Kanta's father. However, Sesshomaru bluffs by agreeing with Moroku and confirms that this is indeed the case, despite knowing full well that he has already used it twice to revive both Jokin and Rin on separate occasions, as well as Gonshinki's head on a third occasion. Sesshomaru most likely lies in order to avoid being manipulated to helping Inuyasha's friend, as Naraku pointed out that Sesshomaru despises doing the bidding of others. And the title of this episode is based on the 1976 anime 3000 Leagues in Search of Mother, which is directed by future Studio Ghibli icon Isao Takahata.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, what a weird title this episode has.
So yeah, that's that. Next time we will be discussing episode 144 entitled Hosenki and the Last Shard. They're gonna try and find a way to get to the grave, but they can't because their previous thing they used can't go there anymore. Oh no.
The Black Pearl.
How will they get there this time? We'll find out next week.
Maybe I won't be sick next week.
We can only hope. If you're this bad next week, we're in trouble.
No kidding.
But that's going to do it for us this week. If you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalamecheckup.com or ssc.cool, where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Seasonal Anime Checkup OVA. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Ann Ladium, go to annladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup. Follow us on Blue Sky at seasonalamecheckup.com. You can buy our books, One Shiny Moment, A Critical Analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, Hot Tubs, and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA. So join us next time as we meet Hosenki.